am absolutely horrified that this man used his position of trust to deceive and coerce Sarah. And I know you all are too. His actions were a gross betrayal of everything policing stands for. What he did was unthinkable and appalling. There are no words that can fully express the fury and overwhelming sadness that we all feel about what happened to Sarah. I am so sorry.
In terms of the monster that has been convicted today, it is right that he has been given a whole life tariff, and with that he can never walk the streets of our country again. And alongside that, of course, it is right that we constantly hold the police to account for what has happened. And with regards to the whole issue around the fact that he was a serving police officer, which has been reflected upon in the judgment today, there are questions, serious questions that will need to be answered by the Metropolitan Police.
It's the only appropriate sentence for such an abhorrent crime, which had abuse of power at its core. But it doesn't bring her back. No life sentence would have been enough. Her family's tragedy doesn't end today. We would have been outraged had it not been a life sentence. But fundamentally, it was preventable. Being in a police department and being nicknamed the rapist and nobody stopping him. Indecent exposure and no one's stopping him.
He was known to his colleagues as someone who women were uncomfortable around. His colleagues called him the rapist. What are the questions? Why was this man allowed to be a police?
In my holding of account of the Metropolitan Police in previous months, as I said, from the minute that Sarah went missing, these were clear points and questions and challenges that were put to the Metropolitan Police and to the Met Commissioner directly. I say this not just as the Home Secretary, but I say this as a woman. All of us want to feel safe and be safe. That is absolutely a right that we have, and with that, of course, the police need to engage in the right way, and they'll be held to account going forward.
This man has brought shame on the Met. Speaking frankly, as an organisation, we have been rocked. I absolutely know that there are those who feel their trust in us is shaken. I recognise that for some people a precious bond of trust has been damaged. Our dedication to you, our public, remains undiminished. As Commissioner, I will do everything in my power to ensure we learn any lessons. I know that what happened to Sarah, and indeed what has happened to other women in London and beyond in recent times, has raised important questions about women's safety. Here in the Met, I commit to keep working with others to improve women's safety and reduce the fear of violence.
Is this the tip of the iceberg of police violence? Is this the tip of the iceberg?